All right. Good morning, my 112 students. Today we are going to go over the parts of a cell. As you can see, that's on our study guide, and I'm going to go straight down the study guide. Cool beans? All right, here we go. There is your cell membrane. What is the purpose of the cell membrane? It's the same concept as the walls and the roof of your house. Keeps the outside out, keeps the inside in. Now, is no one allowed into your house? Can nobody leave your house? Oh no, they can. That's what you have doors for. And we also have pores all along your membrane to let certain materials in and certain materials out. But the function is to keep the outside out and the inside in. 10-4? All right. This is what we're going to talk about. What's it look like? Where do you find it? And what's its function? All right. So next is this dude in the middle, and he is the nucleus. All right. Now the nucleus has, if I just kind of cut like this, has nuclear pores. It has holes along its nuclear membrane. We call those nuclear pores. What is the purpose of the nucleus? Well, the nucleus contains our DNA. And the DNA has two functions. Number one, it contains all the information for your entire genome. In other words, inside every one of your cells is a complete blueprint of what a human being should be. Just like the genetics of a dog tells you what a dog should be. All right? The second function of the nucleus is to tell the cell what to do. Okay? All right. Now, inside of this nucleus, besides the DNA, is this big orange-looking marble. And this guy is the nucleolus. Now, please don't confuse that with nucleus, which is the thing with the DNA, okay? They are spelled differently. Now, what is the purpose of the nucleolus? It creates ribosomes. What are ribosomes? They are the little building blocks that create proteins for us, okay? All right, little workers. So, looking good so far? All right, next thing. We have these membranes that seem to radiate out from the nuclear area. And on the surface of this, we have some ribosomes. That's these little dots here, okay? Those are the ribosomes. And if the ribosomes are on this membrane, it reminded somebody of what what do you call it to smooth down a piece of wood?
Sandpaper?
Sandpaper, there you go. It reminded somebody of sandpaper, so they called this rough ER for endoplasmic reticulum. What about this one with no dots? Smooth ER. Cool beans? The difference is no dots, dots. All right? So, since the ribosomes are sitting on the rough ER, and ribosomes are the ones that make proteins, guess what? The rough ER is where we make proteins. All right? When we do transcription and translation, as we talked about in the other class, when you take the DNA and turn it into RNA, and the RNA moves down here and the ribosome reads it, that's how we make our proteins. All right? So, rough ER, smooth ER. Ooh, I don't see any ribosomes here. I wonder what it does. The smooth ER is where we make and break lipids. We call it lipid synthesis and lipid catabolism. So it's basically lipid metabolism. Okay, we're making it and breaking it right here. All right, not proteins. Okay, now where did these little purple dots, these little ribosomes, come from? They're made in the nucleolus. That's the nucleolus's function, is to make these ribosomes. Then those little ribosomes, what's it do with my purple? Am I blind? Oh, no. Dang, that disappeared quick. Oh, here it is, sorry. It worked in rehearsal. All right, you see, this makes the ribosomes, then it goes through the pore and lands on the rough ER. That's the main reason we have those holes there, to let the ribosomes out. And once we get our transcription and translation, we let the RNA out. Okay? All right. So, everybody cool? Before we get any farther, the most important thing I need you to know is once you understand what the function of these things is, you need to know where are we finding these? Which cells have an abundance of this? Okay? Well, all of your cells have a nucleus to tell it what to do today, so that's no big, wonderful thing. Who is the only cell that has no nucleus and no organelles? The red blood cell.
Okay.
If it had all these organelles, there wouldn't be enough room for the hemoglobin to hold the oxygen. Okay? So, is your red blood cell doing a lot of thinking? No, it's just floating along, picking up oxygen from the lungs and dropping it off at the tissues. All right. Now, rough ER. We're making proteins. Well, what cells are constantly making a lot of proteins? Muscle cells. Okay? So they have an abundance of rough ER. Does that make sense? And anybody who's making a lot of proteins has to have a lot of rough ER. Now, who is making cholesterol or breaking down cholesterol and transforming lipids into glucose and glucose into lipids?
Liver?
The liver. So the liver is full of smooth ER. Got it? See a potential test question happening here? All right, very good. Let's finish up. Golgi, mitochondria, centrioles. Okay, let's do the Golgi. The Golgi apparatus, I'll just put it right here, looks like a series of flattened out sacs. And breaking off of that are these little things called vesicles. So this is your Golgi. I'm going straight off your study guide. So that's your Golgi, named after Alessandro Golgi. That's why it's in capitals. And that's a vesicle. So what is the job of the Golgi? The Golgi is like the UPS. What does the UPS do? Packages and ships. Got it? The UPS doesn't make what's in the package. The Golgi doesn't make what's in the package. The rough ER made the protein. Then the Golgi packages it up in these little vesicles to be sent out. Okay? So Golgi is packaging proteins to send them out of the cell through these vesicles. All right? What is a type of cell that makes proteins and then sends them out? What do you think? Well, TUI. Your mucus. That gets sent out, right? And your sebaceous oils, they get sent out. And hormones. That's the most important one. So your pancreas has to have a lot of this. Rough ER and Golgi. Because what is your pancreas going to be making for us? Insulin. And as we said in an earlier thing, IN at the end of a word makes it a protein. And we know that comes out of the cells to go into your blood. Got it? So if you're making protein-based hormones, you need rough ER and Golgi. And if you are making lipid-based hormones, you need smooth ER. Fair? Okay, very good. What else do we have? Oh, one of the most important things, these guys, they look like a membrane with an inner membrane, an outer membrane and an inner membrane. These are mitochondria. Now, one is a mitochondrion, plural mitochondria, okay? And what is the purpose of the mitochondria? Don't say the powerhouse of the cell, because we're not in middle school anymore. The mitochondria is where we do cellular respiration. And what's cellular respiration? Glucose plus oxygen makes carbon dioxide, water, and ATP energy. Okay? And it's very important that you know that's what it is. They are making the ATP that a busy cell needs. So, my friends, what are some of the busiest cells? What are some of the cells that need lots of energy because they're always working?
Muscles.
Muscles.
Brain.
Okay? Basically nerves, because nerves are always sending sensory information in, sending motor information out. So yes, those are always very, very busy, and therefore they need lots of energy to keep going. Fair enough? All right. And then last but not least, oh my goodness, we have what are called centrioles. Now your centrioles look like, I'll put it over here, they look like a little bundle of sticks that are laying on top of each other, kind of like this. Inside, a black circle. Okay? That's your centrioles. And the centrioles have a very important function. When your cell is ready to divide, the centrioles pull your chromosomes apart so we can form it into two cells. In fact, the next video will be mitosis, and we'll show you how that works. Okay? So, let's take a look at our plastic model, the one that we are going to be testing you on in lab. Here's your nucleus. The white membrane is your nuclear membrane, with the little holes, the nuclear pores. The little blue squigglies you see on the inside, that's your DNA. Can you see it?
Maybe come a little closer.
Yeah. DNA, okay. And of course here is that little orange marble, that is your nucleolus. Oh, do you see these membranes with the white dots all over them? Rough ER. Do you see how this membrane does not have dots on it? Smooth ER. And these big orange things kind of look like circus peanuts, you know, as you get at Halloween time. Membrane in a membrane, that's your mitochondria. Here's your Golgi, the flattened sacs with the little vesicles coming off of it. Here is a centriole, the little sticks that are laying in this black circle. Okay? And I think that covers what we need to know for our Bio 211. Okay?
Looks good.
Thank you.